What is up, everybody? I am Bongmaster Rob. Yes, we are scheduled to go at 9:30. We decided to come about 15 minutes early to see who would hang out and join us for the evening. We are going to be talking more and more about everything that we need to know, better ways for the influencers to reach out to the consumers to try to get the views we need each show that we're going on Bud Vision with. So our best bet is to try to migrate our socials into one. That's what we're doing. You have all your people that are out there on your different profiles that follow you if you smoke, or they follow you if you do this or do that. So we're trying to push traffic. What have you learned so far, Troy, that we need to do? As you're talking, I am paying attention. I'm just going to jump over and do some sharing out myself. That way,
Well, one of
everybody
the
knows
really
we're
big
live.
things that is going on with Bud Vision right now is we have to unlock how the social media system will work with Bud Vision, because we can't just put stuff up on Bud Vision with cannabis, over on like social media sites like TikTok and that. You'll get banned, right?
Right.
So
Yes, absolutely.
what we're experimenting with right now is we're experimenting with how that process happens. How do you inform people on TikTok of a cannabis show that's going live in an hour, aside from emails? How do we drive more traffic to the influencers' pages, right? Now, a
Hmm.
lot of that will be organic when we get up and rolling faster and faster. Obviously, people are going to come in and follow different streamers. But the one thing that we have is we've got a little over 400,000 people that are in a list. Let's just say it's a list that's been created over the last 10, 15 years. It
Hmm.
gets cleaned. So we can email those people to get them in. We haven't done that yet because we have to do that in a very specific manner so we don't get tagged as spammers, right? We
Absolutely.
also have gone through most of the people who want to be social media influencers, and we've ranked them and we've made sure that they're not into like adult content or anything like that, and then we look at the fakes, if there's a lot of fakes, because the brands are very specific about the people they want to have in the
Right.
system. And the other thing that I've done is I've went out over the last 24 hours and I've created a database of best practices that
Hmm.
is taught by individuals online. I mean, it's really good stuff. I've downloaded videos, got playbooks and everything. And right now, what I've created is a system that our influencers can follow. So, what we're going to end up doing is we're probably going to spend about $30,000 on influencer training across
Hmm.
multiple influencers. We've got videos that have been created. You can actually go to YouTube at Bud Vision, and you can see there's 4 new videos that have been put up on there. You can go to our Twitter. There's some new manuals that go up on there. So our whole idea is to get these micro influencers and help them grow their content and their following. That's the most important thing that we can do, because it's harder to go out and get an influencer when we're so new who has maybe 300,000 followers. And what we're going to do is we're going to grow and
Captain Patrick.
help our influencers grow their business.
Okay. I'm just saying, you keep going. I'm getting everything set up
Yeah,
and
no,
chipping with the cat.
that's
You're good. I do
Alex
have your
Hor-
YouTube channel pulled up. I have Bud Vision pulled up. So anytime you want to show anything over there, just let me know. And we'll pop right over and bring the screen up and
well,
show you the
so yeah,
newest things we've learned.
Alex Hormozy, what it's kind of funny. So they called me 9 days ago because they heard that over a year and a half ago, I started grabbing his content, duplicating
Hmm.
it, scraping it, whatever you want to say. But I have a whole ton of his content and I put it in our AI engine, Renaps. And I ended up figuring out what would be the best way to move forward. And that was one of the influencing moments on the idea for Bud Vision. And they called me and I told him, I said, hey, do you know that you are the reason? Or I told him, I think it was like 10%. You're like 10% of the reason why I created Bud Vision, because the fact that this market's not being served. We're a first mover.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but yeah, this is like a big thing, because my whole idea is I don't want people driving Uber. I don't want people doing side gigs that aren't, I mean, if you're an
Absolutely.
Uber driver or you're driving deliveries on your car, you're eating up the capital of your car.
Oh yeah.
You're going to have to borrow sometime soon. But if you put
And when you have
50
no
miles,
capital to start with, it's
50,000
hard
miles,
to do that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Here's a question. Do you run audits on everyone on all platforms? Kim, that's going to be something, I don't know if he's done yours yet specifically, but it's going to be something that these companies are individually wanting done too. So not only will BudVision have to run one for you, these companies will want to run their own independent audits as well. I think that's answered properly, but I should let you do it, sir, because you are I'll put it back up. That question is directed at you, not me.
Yeah, no. So we have done audits on a lot of people. This is what happens when we run an audit and you're not approved. We tell you you're not approved to be a streamer. Okay. We don't tell you you are approved. We just tell you you can't be approved as a streamer for ABC reasons, right? So we're like totally honest. I mean, a lot of individuals who they don't know, a lot of the micro.
With my following, I didn't know that with I have 7,000. Some of those companies are not going to want me. They're going to look and say, no, that guy's not big enough for us. We think that we are the greatest thing since sliced bread. And we have all of these demographics that we know we can go after. So this guy's not going to be our fit. So I see that coming toward me. The only thing, I guess, difference between me and the rest of the streamers is I have another way in to be involved with it as well. So, I mean, I've got my audit as well. I've gotten everything done on me, the same as everybody else is going to be done on them. And I'm glad that that's what these shows are for. We are trying to push this entire website out to the world. And the only way to do it is being credited. Because you know how shit is. If it gets word of mouth really quick that, okay, we can't do this anymore because I think these guys are skimming off the top, or I think these guys are backdooring somebody else and making it to work, because there's no conflict on this website. Yes, it's a social platform, but we've got to keep this because we're all here to make money. I mean, that's the only logical explanation that I have for this. Is that something that you echo as well, Troy, or is there other things like
this is about connecting people who are trapped. Dispensaries, CBD companies are trapped. Influencers can't do this. You're trapped. It's about connecting all of those buttons together, those wires together with the public. And the public will come because it's already starting. Okay. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is making sure that, okay, so let's just say, so for instance, with BudVision, so we have on Twitter, because we don't really have anything else on other sites. So we have anyway. So what I found on us is, hey, we did an audit on ourselves and we found out that, hey, we follow everybody that follows us. So we have 14,500 followers, and then we follow 13,000 some odd, maybe 200 people. And social media, our audit, that was the biggest thing. It said, it looks like you trade follows for followers, right? Which makes sense. But doesn't that seem fair? If somebody's going to follow somebody.
Yeah, that hashtag FF was Friend Follow Friday. You always did that on Twitter when you first started out. That's how it was follow for follow. It was building your following. And I do get where companies are wanting
like that.
I do get that though, because it's like looking at your friends list on Facebook. I mean, 90% of those people are going to be your family. So no matter what you put out there, they're going to be the only ones going at your comments. They're the only ones going after your pictures. So it makes it so much harder to push yourself out there further. I have a profile on every social media there is, because I know I have to separate myself from everything in order to get views. And when you combine all that together, then I've got a substantial following. It's just hard for me to keep them on all those platforms. So, I mean, even myself, I'm really surprised that I made the cut, because if I go look at somebody, I would want to have somebody with at least 250,000 views. If I'm a company putting out that much money into something, because it's like we're making you our spokesperson, Rob. So here's your little blue card. Don't fail us. That makes you really nervous.
You don't have hardly any fakes. Right. That was some of the things that came up. I mean, a couple of the individuals, they have like 39% fakes.
And that it is hard. And see, sometimes you don't even know when that happens because like we were
No.
discussing yesterday, like when you hit that 5,000 mark, a lot of times you get hit with bot herpes, whether they restrict you for saying that or not, but it will take your entire profile, put it shadow ban. It'll do all kind of shit because there's so much influx on your page at the same time. And that's what happened to me here recently when I was sharing out your stuff and everybody else's stuff down through. I got shadow banned. I'm the only one out there sharing everybody's shit, and they held me accountable for everything else because of the way that I was doing it. So I know that I have made some people mad when I said, I can't keep sharing your stuff out anymore. For one, you're not
Yeah.
sharing mine. And then for
Yeah.
two, it just looks like I'm a bot coming in and just liking the first 60 things I see or retweeting the first 60 things I see and then just going to bed because that's what I like to do. I like to look at all my friends' things. I like to see how far they're going. Why wouldn't you want to support them? But their
Yeah.
AI algorithm on TikTok has taken that to the extreme to the point where they think every third like possibly is a bot or it's possibly something else that's going to damage their algorithm. For fuck's sake, you got Starlink floating around the world and you're worried about somebody following for follow? What the fuck? Come on, TikTok.
Well, you know,
or not TikTok,
the
but
funny thing,
Twitter?
the funny thing you said is, you know, my friends and family follow me, you know, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, TikTok, I found out through
What's up,
the
Patty? How you doing?
information. TikTok goes, hey, if you put your friends and family on your list, because you can do that on the mobile, right? And they
Okay.
follow you, it's bad. You don't want to do that. So the advice is not to do that on TikTok, not to do it on any platform. And you know, and it's really interesting. I mean, if you it's crazy because I have a ton of information. Let me move the camera around. I have hours and hours of research. It just goes on and on. And listen, I'm not a social media guru, right? I'm
Right.
just not. But you know, like I talked to you earlier today, and you know, I said I told you, I said I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm learning all this stuff, right?
Right.
And by the grace of God, you know, the Bud Vision Twitter has been okay because we weren't really on it for like 6 months to a year. It was just kind of
Yeah.
organically growing, right? Which
Right.
is, you know, I guess that would be like a cool off time. But remember what I told you? I said, you know what purple cow is? And remember you said, oh, purple towel. No, a
I thought
purple
you said
cow.
towel. Yeah, TOWEL. I thought you were saying towel. What the
Yeah.
fuck is a purple towel?
Well, the purple cow. And
Cow, as
so
in
we're
moo.
going to teach. We are going to teach our social media influencers how to go viral. We're
You
going to
just
teach them,
stumbled. The ice cream?
you know,
The ice cream? What? What? Purple cow ice cream? I'm intrigued now because now I want ice cream. No,
yeah.
explain a little
So
more
a
what purple
purple
cow is.
cow, a purple cow is, you know, pretend you're driving down the road and you go by a field of cows and they all look the same, and it kind of
Mhm.
makes sense, right? Okay,
Right.
but then you see a purple cow, you start focusing on it. Your goal on social media with Bud Vision is to learn how to make purple cows so you can drive traffic to your Bud Vision profile. That
Gotcha.
is the most important thing. So we are going to be extremely intimately involved with
Cheers.
our influencers and help them learn. And it's not something you can apply this to your own business, your own account to do other things. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a whole gigantic system of education being built right now. And
And
one
that's
of them
very
you
appreciative.
can go to TikTok right now. I just put it up. And look at the thing that we
And
designed.
it's on Bud Vision on TikTok.
It's on Bud Vision, yeah, not Bud Vision 1, Bud Vision. But that's another thing. Like I told somebody today who we couldn't bring on, I said, you need to create a second account.
Yeah.
Create a backup account. Let it organically get moving, and then move real people over there. That's so key.
I've always wondered. Now, a lot of people will do that on TikTok because they get banned so easily. And that's the only thing I have yet to do is build a second account. So when this one is shadow banned or this one is out, I can go, hey, by the way, I am just here, but I'm not there. Come over here and see me instead. But I have not mastered that app for shit when it comes to TikTok. I've tried to go live on there. I've been in box groups with people. I still get restricted. Man, that first set I was trying to do in my other studio, I had to have a green screen behind me because everything behind me was setting off their little curtain closing thing where the lights would start dimming. And I didn't realize what that was till it was too late. Next thing I know, I'm kicked off. And then once
that's another thing I learned. That's another thing. So I put all of this content into our AI engine, Renaps, and it came out and it said one of the things to do on Facebook or one of the things to do on Instagram is to put your head like, okay, so here's my head, like right here. And then it's a green screen for your head. And then you're talking about something like that. They love that. The algorithms
There's a lot of people that do that though. It's crazy though. There's so many people out there that do it with the green screen split in. No, I mean, when I did it though, I had to use their app to keep the green screen behind me the entire time I was live. It wouldn't let me show anything behind me. Or I had to use something and tarp over everything back here or cover it up with a blanket, which I did that as well too. But it sucks though, because this is me. This is what I want. Was that your mushrooms falling off the wall?
Yeah.
I was damn, dude. You got so much shit in there, it's falling from everywhere.
Yeah, it fell off the wall. The other one fell off the wall too. I ran out of Velcro, so I had to cut the strips a little bit smaller.
Well, don't let the fucking TV fall off on you.
Oh no, that's not gonna fall off.
Okay, yeah, that thing better be anchored into the fucking
ceiling
house
fan might fly across the room though.
Jiminy Christmas. So yeah, we were going to go live tonight at 9:30, but we decided to come a little bit early. There's been just a slight hiccup in plans, but we will be going live again tonight. That will be, we're going to shoot for midnight or 12:30.
We'll shoot for midnight, and we want to go live. I'll be on the strip, right? And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to create some, some more virability with, what we're doing, seeing like, the strip going on. And these are things that, we're starting to experiment with. And I think we have 507. So all of these products, and then all the ones that are on websites, 507 products that we got to do shows for. And, we just got done. So the email system works perfectly. I'm getting emails from people, that's all great. So that's good. There's some extra things that we're going to add into the software. One of those things is we're going to add the ability to go viral on Bud Vision. So what the big issue is okay, so I'm creating these stream stores and all this product, and then I got to push people into the system as an influencer, which you got to do. But let's try to make the other things on there go viral too. So we're adding in a couple things. We're adding in quizzes, we're adding in other stuff where people can create and share and do reviews on items.
Wow, sorry about that. That hit came in sideways. Oh goodness, I was not prepared for that one. Oh shit.
So if you're watching right now, come back at 6:30. Come back.
It'll be. I'm trying to breathe. Can't get it out. I'm trying to take a deep breath and it won't come. I think there was too much key flow on that tray. I forgot to clear that tray off again when we were live the other night, and I dumped that shit on top of the rest of my grind. Fuck! I sucked that right to my fucking belly button. Whew. Yeah, it'll be 12 o'clock on the East Coast. It'll be 9 o'clock your time. So 9 o'clock Western Pacific.
So there's a lot of different things that I've learned over the last 24 hours, like viral hooks. You need a book of viral hooks, and these are just things that our influencers, some of them may do, but usually most people just do what we're doing right now. They go live, they talk, and the friends and family join, and then a few more people that they know join. And so
this is what I'm going to do though. The way I do it is the way I do a yard sale. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I can have a 2-hour yard sale and make over $250 because you've got to keep shit moving. You've got to make sure that if a car goes by once, when they come by that second time, you got something different setting out by that road. You've got to have eye candy out front, but it's the products that are our eye candy. we should not have any problem whatsoever getting the traffic that you are actually seeing through everything that you went through just for the products alone. And I just think us moving them around in our rooms is going to bring people in. It's only going to take the simplest of things. One video, one person knowing about this that just goes, fuck, it's going to go. And it's going to go so fast that I'm ready, but I don't know if I'm ready. Am I ready? Do you think I am?
You know, I mean,
tell them to wait, won't we?
There's a video of a lady. She must be 60 years old, and she's dancing to a banana song, and she's doing this and doing that, and she's got like 6 million views.
Yeah,
just dancing.
That's the difference between TikTok and the rest of them. I know it is a different animal altogether over on TikTok.
You got to think. I mean, we all grew up watching funniest videos,
right?
You know, that why is that still on TV after 20 plus years? Because it's funny, because people watch it, because it's goofy. It's just the same thing on the internet. You got 3 seconds. These are things that we've learned overnight. You have 3 seconds for your hook to play. Otherwise, in 5 seconds, they're gone. Now, on BudVision, it's going to be a little bit different because it's live streaming, right? But when you're promoting your channel and your business on other platforms, you got 3 seconds for attention, 5 seconds, or they're gone. Plain and simple. So you know, here we go live right now. You know, I make a video right now. Hey guys, come over to BudVision. Oh, they're gone. They're gone.
You want something like this? Go. Fuck is in there?
Yeah. You know, it is. You know,
we got bubble wrap tonight. That's what I see, and those guys get 1 million views. It's because they fight an inanimate object, and it's like, it's gonna get me. It's time for cigarette smoke to come out my ears.
Yeah.
We're going here. Let me give you more money. Let me give you more. How in the fuck does that happen? So
it's
thank you
just
for this.
The weirdness. It's the purple cow.
I know. Well, look at my following. My following is because my shit is so obscure. You know, I will sit and do little like motivational videos, and then
But you're a purple cow.
No, well, I would like to say I'm
your ears, your hat, and your glasses.
We'll call it lavender.
What's going on there? I'm going to watch this for a minute.
But as long as nobody takes my fucking Bongmaster logo off my chest, because then they won't know who that crazy ass. What the fuck is that bearded dude in a rabbit ears just standing there holding that sign for?
That's like the purple cow. You're a perfect example of a purple cow.
I know, but they didn't know my purple cow name.
A blue bunny.
Don't give yourself. Now that is ice cream, Kim. Blue bunny.
Yeah, blue bunny.
Blue bunny's really good. I've never heard of ice cream.
So that's one of the great things about our influencers. When our influencers come on board, they're going to start getting trained and learn new things. It's going to be like Influencer University. Sure, you're going to know some of this stuff, but you know, we all work together and learn together.
And that's the best part about it is the community that we're creating when you do the follow back and forth with one another, and then the open chat back and forth with the messages. So, like for instance, if Tatty Daddy was selling at 9:30 and I was selling at 10:30, and I sent a message, hey, you want to kind of try to tag team this? You know, I will try to drive people to his page the same as he would drive some to my page after. Now, don't forget, I'm done, but he's coming on right after me. You got to see some of the cool shit. You know, that's another way of like, just leading into the next.
Yeah.
That's what we usually do.
That's what they do on TV.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the next show.
Right. You know? And I like the idea of being able to do that because a lot of different apps will restrict you from doing that. You can't talk about your other apps. You can't talk about your other social medias. You can't talk about anything. The ones that really restrict you from being yourself are the ones that are the worst. Now, I've gotten so many restrictions on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. The only ones that I've ever gotten on Twitter was for sharing too much.
Oh yeah, or following too many, or whatever. You
have to learn every one of those apps just to try to survive, and it really fucking sucks. But like what you said, how you had kind of drifted off for 6 months, and your following stayed. It wasn't like a big drop off, and it wasn't that somebody tried to hack your account and steal it, because that shit happens too. Michelle, if you're watching, my friend Mistress of Ganja, she pushed hers up over 3,000 overnight. Somebody hacked into her account and stole it. And she made it that far first. There's people out there that will terrorize you while you're trying to do something that you feel is right. So this is for everybody. Don't be discouraged. Keep pushing forward. Because mine sucks. but I do have the following when it comes. And I'm glad that the things that I've done, that all of you guys have sat around and watched, because it's stupid. In my eyes, it's me venting. But if I can get a giggle out of somebody, then I think I can bring that giggle to make money for me. I went flat broke again today, ate a bologna sandwich tonight, but I'm still ready to move. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why
Life
Alex
fucking
Hormozi,
sucks,
I
dude.
mean, everything that I've kind of developed, 10% of it is from the information that he threw out, and that, but yeah, there's a better way to survive. And that better way is in the cannabis space, in the CBD space, simply because it's not out there. You have no competition. Imagine being the first. Imagine being involved with the first. That's a big thing. That's a gigantic thing. I mean, you could always go to Whatnot and sell your garage stuff on Whatnot. I mean, people do a really good business there, right?
Absolutely.
But you're not making 35. Well, you're not making 35% of a dollar, because some people sell things for a couple bucks. They'll have 700 sales, and they'll make $1,400, and at the end of the day, they're working their ass off to make $350.
Right.
And that's fine, but you still got to hop in the car, and you got to, get this app, and you got to get that app, and you got to go shop at Ross. You got to go shop at, Goodwill. You got to find things, and then you got to scan them. You got to see what the current price is. And, that's a lot of freaking work, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is, especially with our brands that are coming on board, they already have it. It's a click. It's a sale. They do all the work. Boom, you get paid. That's the most important thing about this. I mean, it's crazy.
All we are is eye candy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we are. I mean, it is. You have to, I mean, it's just like walking into a restaurant. When the waitress comes up to you, or when you walk into a dispensary, you wait your turn for the bud tender. But at least this way, we all can just go in there at once. We don't have to wait in line. It's there. The link's there. We can say, wow, I like the idea of that. I like that new product. I want to try it. There it is. I'm really looking forward to that part of it. To be able to tell people that's how easy it's going to be, for it to be a direct link right to whatever company it was that you were actually wanting to buy from. You're buying from them, shipped directly from them to you. You don't have to worry about Robbie getting, $2,000 in sales before he has enough in his back pocket to ship all this stuff out, because he didn't have money to begin with. That's not how this works. It is me coming live to try to make my money for selling product from somebody to you. It's just that everything else is being sold the same way. Everything else is being sold on. You got fucking car vending machines out there now. Why can you not buy weed online like this?
Yeah. No, exactly. 110%.
It's really good. And I really do understand the how to word that. How critical these companies are, because if they're kind of on their last, not saying this in a bad way toward any company, but if a company's on its last leg right now, knowing my state just changed, I've got to dump this product. I've got to at least make a little bit. You want to rely on somebody, okay, my last shot is here on Bud Vision. I'm going to give it to them to do. Hopefully they pick me a streamer, or maybe I can pick my own streamer to hire to do it for me. That's where we come in. That's the reason why the audits are done, so these people can look and say, okay, well, I want this person. Then I see their skills. I see what they've got coming. I know they bring and keep a group. Let's try to do them first. So my question to you is this: if a company does that, if a company comes and says, all right, I want Bongmaster Rob to sell all of my lighters that look like this. That's what I want. This is one of the best things that I want right now. If I don't hold up to like what they seem, are they allowed to drop me immediately, or will there be some sort of negotiations between myself and that company?
I think it's a little bit of both. They could drop you. They could say, okay, we don't want him streaming for us. We want to find somebody else. Or, you don't really want to change your
what's up, Russ?
Your profile, the way you sell, because it may not be perfect. I know a couple dispensaries right now who wouldn't want me or wouldn't want you, because they're the Cadillac of the industry. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine. Are they gonna survive doing that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Nope.
Maybe
they will.
Maybe
they
not.
will, but it's going to be hard to make money, because when you end up going out after those huge influencers or movie stars or musicians and shit, you have got so much money just keeping them there. They're not like me or some of the other people who have exchanged shit for product, they make too much money for that, you know, and then they have somebody in charge of making their money for them or handling their money. So those people have to make money. So it's like, no, we're not doing it. I'm not even going to bring it to their attention. So I don't know if they'll survive. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Now, Russ, are you watching this live or are you watching this earlier? Oh, okay. Now you're live. You might want to listen to this. We're talking about purple cows. You know what a purple cow is? Purple cow is that one thing that gets you above everyone else. That one thing that makes you stand out. We need to figure out what your purple cow is. Your purple cow, for instance, Russ, would be kicking that fucking puck away with the blade of your skate. That is your purple cow. Cut that. Make that a 3-second clip. Like, watch this shit. Make that thing blow up. That is the neatest thing right there. And you've got it. It just got to be out there. Yeah, I'm watching now. It was funny. He was commenting like an hour and a half late one night. Had no idea what the fuck he was talking about either.
Yeah, 3 seconds, your purple cow. 3 seconds. And there's a ton of different hooks.
Awesome.
So what we're going to do with our influencers is we're going to publish to our influencers all these different advice and help and everything. And then we will even, in these live streams like this, we could talk to the you know, people, the streamers, and say, hey, that's a good idea. This works. So the whole idea that, you know, the whole idea is to experiment and see what works, and whatever works, just repeat it. And each platform has its different, you know, quirks, I would say, on, you know, what they like and what they don't like. Now with live stream shopping, it doesn't really matter, but you know what? That gets recorded. So maybe when you're doing your live stream, you want to do a purple cow to get people's attention. Like, you know, maybe something like this, like, you know, I was so depressed that I wanted to jump off a purple
Don't go too far. We'll get restricted now. That's why I'm over talking you. Don't get just like kind of make weird words if you're going to go that far.
Purple cow. I'm going to jump into I was so upset I jumped into cow poo poo, right?
There we go. There we go. That's better.
I got these and I take one every day and I'm happy as a pig in poo. Right now I can jump in cow poo and I'd be happy. You know what I mean? Or, you know, it's like, you know, I took this tincture I couldn't sleep. I can't sleep, but this tincture makes me sleep.
No, that tincture makes you go fucking batshit crazy is what that does. You need to make sure you add that. I'll tell you what, that would be your purple cow. Come and join me in 5 minutes. I'm going to be eating 8 of these 1,200 milligram fucking gummies like you did.
There's a purple cow.
When you were trying to hold your phone, it was going side to side, all that.
Yeah, that's your purple cow, you know. Or here's a purple cow. Oh, Mister, oh, you know, hey, $100 bill. You're not even paying attention to me. Oh, no, you're not. I mean, literally. I mean, these are purple cow things. You know what I mean? I mean, literally. Yeah, see, there's that's your baby.
Live at 7.
Yeah. See, there's a purple cow. You got 3 seconds. The first 3 seconds, you got to grab their attention.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I agree with that because I watch my own analytics. That's how I've tried to build my following on YouTube. I went with all the rest of them, and I do know that a lot of that stuff is follow for follow because you're going with the same like-minded people. If you're just going to put your videos out there without being able to communicate with somebody, you have got to get their fucking attention because there is. Go into your neighborhood. Not everybody's watching the same television show. Walk into a movie theater. That's why there's so many options there. We all have what drives us, what gets us to where we need to. I hope I can find mine to keep. If mine is fucking sitting here in a mask, holding up a product for 45 minutes, you better fucking believe that's what I'm going to do. I don't give a shit who judges me. I ain't making dick now. I mean, dick. Yes, dick. I ain't even making that much. All right. And it's fucked up.
I know.
No, not you. I'm saying in general, this is the opportunity that I've wanted. It's the worst part about this social media. It's wanting you to be out there, be yourself, be open, let the world see who you are. But we're going to restrict you in all these ways so you can't show them who you truly are. Why is that? Now, I do get it that if the app is open to all ages, of course you do not want them watching that. But if you restrict yourself to a certain demographic of age, for instance, and you get restricted afterward, it is because the parent is the one to blame, in my eyes. They've given whoever that device, or that person's hacked that device to get into it. I've been more often than not on some of the videos that I would never dream of getting reported for or anything. They were removed. Still don't know why. But you got to keep pushing through it. You got to just keep moving. You'll find yours. I've got 5 videos that hit roughly between 30,000 or 20,000 and 30,000 on YouTube. The one did it in like 4 hours. You know what it was? It was a fucking dude mowing around a tree that just blew over in a storm. It was a 5-second fucking video.
Yeah.
Because when I go outside, you can hear just commotion going around. And then I go, only in Ohio, we mow around our trees that fall on our lawn. That is the video. 35,000 views on that video alone on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now I'm on Twitter. I've done like short ones or done long giveaways, and they've got a big draw. Or I've put a picture up there or a funny meme up there, and then they've got a huge draw. But I know that there's people there actively watching it, sharing out. It is hard to share something out on YouTube. You just don't retweet it to your wall. You know, you have to share that to an individual, either email, another direct, message from a different site. You were talking about being able to kind of pull and push people during the community part of Bud Vision. Is that something that we'll be able to do there? Share out our other socials so we can try to pull and move back and forth with it.
Yeah, so what we don't have the ability right now to put the different socials on there,
candy?
but that's really easy to do when we get the new feature put in. So we're just basically going to copy YouTube Community that just rolled out here a while ago, where you can share stuff on YouTube Community. We're basically going to copy that. Okay. And that enables, if you want to share a video on there, you can share any video up on the YouTube Community, and you're good to go. So we're just basically going to use some of that technology design to be able to share different videos, the recorded live streams, different products for people, so they can click on it, look at it, and do things, buy, research, whatever you need for whatever city that you're in. And that's another thing. Like, you could be doing a show for, this, Wonder Gummies, right, in New York City. And I could be doing a show right after yours for Wonder Gummies in Chicago. You know what I mean? And so, with our geographic locator and that technology that has been around forever, it just really creates kind of a swarm effect where people can say, oh, hey, I'm watching this, and I'm not in New York City, but I'm in Chicago and I'm watching this. Oh, let's see. Do they have that in Chicago? Well, yeah, you do. So, there's all these different things that are that can go along where you can create a swarm of buyers and really kind of move the needle a little bit. And that's the other thing. I mean, there is so much. Thanks so much.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, there's much stuff that we can do. It's crazy.
No, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to catch that before you left. Thanks so much for stopping in, Russ. And yeah, there's other things that are going to be sold. This was something I was going to bring up too, because you're going to do sporting cards, gambling. There's other stuff that's listed on there that's going to be added to the site later on, which Russ doesn't partake in what we do, but when he was on the show the other day when we were discussing it, it is something that may interest him in the future. So yeah, anytime you ever want to learn more from this crazy monster, Russ, I'll make sure that I direct him to you, and then maybe he'll bother you at 3 o'clock in the morning instead of me, because I get to come back tonight. If you're still awake, make sure you tell Dan too. We'll be back live again at midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, or 9:30 in Vegas, because he's going to take us out on the strip and we're going to scout some locations. I'll probably even give him the full screen a couple times on there just to make sure all them pretty little blinky lights are drawing some attention to some of these apps.
And
just because
people
of what
like
we're
lights.
talking about.
Lights are good.
Yeah, but your spaceship lights were not good. You broke my heart. I really thought it was a UFO. No. What'd you say it was? The bottom of the palm sign or something was broken?
Yeah, there was something wrong with the palm sign. It didn't work very well. And so, there was something totally wrong with it.
Funny as shit, dude, though, your soft voice. Ooh, look, it's a UFO. Look, it's a UFO. That's what made the video, because it looks grainy where you've zoomed out on it, and it just looks like it would be a UFO video. So while you're out today, if you do see a UFO, please by all means turn your camera up there.
I don't want to see one because whenever I see a UFO near a casino, they end up taking all our money.
Nice. That means you've eaten too many gummies if you see a UFO before you walk into a casino. I can only imagine some of the shit you guys would hear and see fly overhead out there.
Oh, there's all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm still good. I've been probed by a lot of people, but an alien wasn't one of them. So, I mean, if you've ever got a divorce, don't worry. They make sure they examine you very, very well.
Here's a hook. Do you know who Range 4 Harry is? He's the alien that lives in Area 51. Yes. I mean, that's a viral hook. You can look it up, the Range 4 Harry, the TikToks. You can look up the pictures from Google Earth where they look like big what they call propane tanks, right?
Yeah.
And they're out in the middle of Area 51 on Range 5 Harry. And there's a playground there, and there's supposed to be an underground base for these. They're called Nordics. And not too long ago, it's like a year and a half ago, in East Vegas, a kid calls up, he goes, there's these tall aliens in the backyard, right? It's like, and the lady goes, the 911 calls, because I don't know. And the cops show up. Before they show up on their little cameras, there is a streaking thing going down in the neighborhood. It's crazy. And it apparently looked like Range 4 Harry. And then what happened after that is, for months, the government was showing up at their house. The government put cameras at their house. This is all stuff you can look at online, and it was in the news. And the guy says, this really happened. This did happen. And then when you go back into the 50s, there was a guy on Area 51. He was a weatherman, and he would go around to all of the weather stations in Area 51. And one day he went out to a place, and they said, you got to watch out for Range 4 Harry, Range whatever. And he goes, what's that? He got really sick, and he kind of fell down. And then there was a little Nordic kid in front of him, and he picked the kid up and says, what are you doing there? It's in the middle of the desert, right? And then his mother came over there, and because he kind of helped the kid, they became friends. And he talks about this. It's on like coast. I think
somebody's on some serious shrooms.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, I don't know. You don't
No,
know.
you're right. But here's like this. Here's my purple cow. My purple cow. There's me. I'm my own purple cow. This will be my purple cow viral moment. I'm going to buy one of these.
We have clothing on the site, so we should do a show.
I am going to do. Well, that would be cool. We'll definitely do that. I am going to do this right here. I'm going to buy one of these. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to make my video. I'm going to make it kick. I'm telling you, I will.
That's a purple cow.
But all the proceeds from this right now for my purple cow sales is going to be for my 420 trip. So please, by all means, go to check out the Bongmaster Rob collection. It's over right here above me. See it? My Bright Side Supply. At Bright Side Supply 26, not my Bright Side Supply. I'm so high right now. I'm very sorry, Kim, for shattering that. That was on me. You can get some stickers. You can get all kind of shit. Go get some stuff. There's going to be a release of this famous sponsor hoodie really, really soon. Really soon. I'll probably get my sponsor hoodie before I get my shit from you. Damn it. I'm serious. Tell you what, if they're right first, I'm going to be pissed.
It's coming. Well, yeah, no, it should be there in the next few days.
Not on Sunday. Tomorrow's Sunday.
I don't know. Sometimes
I do appreciate everybody sharing this out
and
for paying attention to what's going on. The reason why we keep going live is because the more things that we learn about what has to happen while we're live on this, so we don't restrict ourselves as the people trying to make money. We also don't drive off the consumer who wants to purchase, and we also don't want to drive off the product makers, the manufacturers, the independents, the grow houses, all these places that want to come here for this. We don't want to try to drive them off. So all the research that he puts in every night, even though I laugh at him for not going to bed till 9:30 my time, which is fucking crazy, dude. Stop calling me at 3 a.m., by the way. I'm proud to be a part of this with you, that you're hitting every corner that you need to hit to make sure that no one's going to breach the shield you're trying to put around us. You're not doing it to be hurtful or harmful or hatred toward people. You're doing it to protect yourself, to protect the integrity of the company, to protect the integrity of all the streamers, so these companies just don't come in and pick and choose and stand on ones and shoo the other ones away. Let's all try to work and share and move just like employees would anywhere else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's where I'm at with that. And I'm
Well, we had
I,
we had a brand new brand, right?
yes.
They're coming out in California. They were at Hall of Flowers, which was a big cannabis show.
Mhm.
The owner of Hall of Flowers calls me up and he says, "Hey, this is kind of interesting what you're doing. Nobody's ever done this before." We talked a little bit. He goes, "Why would a brand want to do this?" Well, I explained to him that a brand would want to do this simply because they have no other out. They can't do anything on Facebook. They can't
Right.
do anything on social media. They can't say, "Hey, we got the best weed in the world." Boom, they're gone, And then after they're gone, the money goes too. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
bye-bye, Mr. Moneybags. It's gone, right? So, I
No,
mean,
yeah, they all
really,
have. Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
explained it to him, and he goes, "Oh, I get it." And the problem that we have in the cannabis industry and the
Mhm.
CBD industry is it's so regulated. You're fighting. You ever been in a situation where you're fighting another person constantly and you
Yes.
just can't think out of the situation, right?
Mhm.
Well, that's the state of the industry because they're fighting taxes, fighting more regulation, and then you put the business on top of that where they've got to schedule employees, they got to find employees, they got to,
Right.
that's a whole nother animal,
I
it's just
completely understand.
ridiculous.
No, yeah, and it is. And you look at it this way, when they ask why would a company want to be a part of this? Well, the company has to have their own website. The company has their store, or they have wherever they're selling their items. They have all of those people working in those areas to make sure that the newest of new and the flashiest of flashy is up on that screen when somebody comes there. Why wouldn't you want a human being doing that? You guys see
Yeah.
this new thing from Bud Vision? Or see this new thing from Aventus? See this new thing from Cookies today that came out? You can't, if you
Yeah.
do that on TikTok, for instance, like you and I spoke about earlier, it is a quick, when I've done my reviews, here, I can do one for him. When I would do Hemper, as long as you can't see the bong word right here, because their AI will go through it and pick it out and kick me off immediately. Any weed leaves that are like predominant weed leaves that aren't blocked off a little bit, it will be kicked off immediately. Or it will be shadow. I don't know if they shadow ban or if they just completely remove it. If anybody's TikTok savvy more than I am, if you're in the chat, please let us know. But when I do that, like for instance, with that right there, you're done. If they were,
Yeah.
if cookies though, it was one of their words that they would look for because it was cannabis related, you holding it that long would be gone.
And you know what? A lot of people don't know that what's inside of here.
Mhm.
What is there a card in there? What is it, a pen? What is it, right? And
Right.
that's the beautiful thing. If you did this, you're gone. But you can open it up, right? You could spin it in a circle. You can remove, comes with a charger, right?
Right.
And then you can pull the pin out.
What's
You
up, Zen?
know,
Thanks for joining us, bud.
you can
Yeah,
pull
on
the
Bud
pin
Vision,
out and you
you can
you
pull it
can
out, put a
look at
card in,
it.
and smoke out of it right then. Show people,
Yeah.
look, this is what it does. This is what it's for. But if you try to do that on the other ones, you can't. Now, the ones that we're streaming on right now, currently, yes, we can. Just because I don't care that I've got my pages locked to be adult pages. But when you try to go to the other ones, even if you're set as adult, it still really will scrutinize everything that you do. But
Yeah.
it's now I get it for the protection of children, 100%. But if I'm doing everything that you're asking me to do and it's still being seen, is that still my fault? Why do you have to remove me because your algorithm is not figuring out a way to stop this from happening? But that's just few and far between. Those things are awesome, by the way. That
You
one's a
see,
lot thicker than the other one, isn't it?
no, they're both the same, but one is
You sure?
silver.
Well, I guess it makes an optical illusion with it being silver because the one that's blue looks about the size of a Sharpie and the other one looks about the size of an ink pen.
No, they're both the same.
Well, don't put them
But
in the wrong holes.
it's this. This is what you get.
Do I?
You buy this. This is what you get. It comes with the charger, and then you can say, you know what? In 20 minutes, I'm going to be selling the carts. So go ahead and order this right now, and then we'll throw in the carts. We'll do the carts, and whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah, it'll be like a
you
home
can't
shopping
do that
network with
anywhere.
tied together. Absolutely.
You just can't. And that's why we're getting so much attention, and that's kind of there's a lot of expectations on Bud Vision right now, and people are going, well, why aren't you live yet? Amazon Web Services, why aren't you really pushing this yet? Well, it's because we don't want it to be necessarily perfect. The site's still kind of in a shitty mode, you know what I mean? Because it's the first version, right? We want to get out there, but we just got to the point where you could track the button clicks, you can DM, 2 weeks when we first went live, a couple weeks ago, there was no DMs, there was no emails. Now people are getting emails. We got that stuff, built into it. So there's certain expectations that we want to get to. There's just a lot of stuff that goes along with this. And so, the people who are here really, caring about you and waiting for this, we're there, it is, and that's why we're getting the social media going, because we really want the influencers to be successful, and whatever we can do to cross-pollinate and train and tell them best practices. It's not just a skill that you're going to use on Bud Vision or TikTok or whatever. It's something that you're going to be able to use in your own life. Maybe there's a guy maybe your neighbor has a barber shop, or maybe your neighbor, has a used car.
I really thought you were going to say maybe your neighbor had a car to work on for you, since what I told you earlier, asshole. This shit ain't going to fucking apply to my everyday life. I can tell you that much. Other than me saying no.
You could sit and have a beer with them and say, or a glass of wine, or not drink at all, have a Coke, and say, hey, well, this is what I've learned on Bud Vision that works on TikTok. And the guy says, maybe they'll say, hey, you know what? If I gave you $1,000, do you think you can help me? Everything that you learn can be transferred into other things.
Right. And would you go ahead and tell them about the investment of the training program, what you were talking about earlier when we first came on? Because we're pushing up on the hour mark now. That way we can reiterate that again.
So we're looking probably right around 30 grand in time and materials to train each influencer. Just last night alone, the stuff that we've pumped out, the stuff that's got to get put, up into a digital, school or skull or whatever, however we're going to, push that. That's a lot of material. And the other hard part is finding material that's current. Because last night I found information that 2025. Well, guess what? Twitter updated stuff in 2026. And so the stuff doesn't apply now, so everything is updated, it's new, it's current, and that's a big thing. And because the algorithms change every day, but also at the same time they keep them kind of static, similar for a period of a year, and then they update them as a group, and things change. So on Instagram they have carousels, right? Carousels are a big thing right now. Instagram loves carousels. So if you have a carousel, boom, you're good to go. That's the big rush. But now with AI, that's starting to change.
I got a pony. Does that count?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, there's a purple cow. Could you imagine if you went to the state fair in is it in Columbus?
Yeah.
So if you went to the state fair wearing what you're wearing right now, and you took a video of yourself on a carousel, that's money.
Well, the fair isn't until September, so we're kind of out there. Now, there is one at the Columbus Zoo. If you would like to send my fat ass to the Columbus Zoo to sit on that thing, I will gladly go on your dime. That is too expensive for me to even think about going to do right now. But no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I thought about going and finding an old merry-go-round and just putting some of my masks on it and just making them like that and just spinning around. I may end up doing that by the end of the night anyhow. Just give
I
myself
mean,
something silly to
I
do.
go to and lay in the freezer section and say I'm so cool. You know what? You know what I
Wow,
mean. It's just like,
that's
or
hilarious.
if you got a small
Talking about
child, you can put
Lamborghini.
your small child in the milk area of the store. Close the door on him and have him up like this. I mean, literally. I mean, there's a million and different ways
You're
to do
driving me
this.
nuts with some of these different things that
That's a purple
you,
cow right there.
I know that's the thing is that's how my mind works. Is I would just sit here, I'll get stoned, and then I'll think of something so obscure that I got to put it on video, and then I don't put it on there with the expectations of getting views on it. I put it on there to make myself feel better. But then when you see the first 2 views hit, then it's like a gambler at a table or at a
Yeah,
machine. You're waiting. Show me another one. Come on, show me one more.
yeah.
Just give me one more. Just give me one more. And then it makes you feel good inside. Once I find my way, which I have, I like doing what I'm doing. I'm so glad you're going to allow me to do what I'm doing and still try to make it go that far because
Mhm.
I'm tired of doing this, honestly. Right there at the bottom, you can see where my Cash App and Venmo are strolling. I do that often because everything that I do out of my own pocket. Every stream I do, we'll have sometimes up to 500 people in here watching what we're doing, or I'm promoting another company or having a guest on who owns a huge company. But that's my platform. That's what I chose. I didn't charge you to come on here to say hi to me, like I've never charged anybody. I share and share out everything that I can, and you still get held for it. So why I ask for
Yeah.
money is because it sucks when you only have so much, but you like doing what you're doing. I'm hoping that what I can do with you can get me from doing that. So I don't have to worry about, okay, it's time to pay the StreamYard bill so I can make sure that I stream to these 3 networks so I can have all that.
How
Other
much is the
sponsors I have working
StreamYard
with me
bill?
now. The
How
one I'm
much is
doing
that?
right now is the $50 a month one. Now, if I wanted to stream to multiple platforms more than the 3 that I do, then I would go up to the next one. Or if I wanted to add a lot more graphics, which some of the sponsors that I'm talking with now would like to have different ways of putting their stuff up here. But I told them, okay, well, it's going to be another 50 on top of what I'm paying now. So we're going to have to figure a way to figure that out. So I've already been offered for somebody to up me up to the next one,
Well,
which is great.
that's why when I talk to these brands,
Hmm.
if they want to nickel and dime us, I don't
Right.
have time for that. My influencers don't have time for that. Go figure it out on your own. Do it on your own. I mean, back in the software world, we'll be talking to a company that wants to license our software,
Hmm.
and they'll say, "Oh, it's too much money." Well, go build it on your own. Well, they
Yeah.
can't
Uh,
because it's
tell
hundreds
me.
of thousands of dollars. So they want to license it, but they're trying to negotiate in the wrongest way ever. And that just turns me off. I mean, I'll give you a good example. And we talked about this earlier today. There was a company where we gave a quote to, right? And it was a very low number, and they didn't really say anything, and then they come back to us after they find out a whole bunch of like, oh, they do this and they do that and they've got this and that and everything. The price went up triple almost.
Yeah,
I'm not
because you're
fine with that.
moving along so quickly with this. It's like when I was telling everybody about trying to get into the door right now because you did give me the cap. I haven't figured out the cap yet because I need to see how we're going to take off on this because like now, like what you were saying yesterday, out of say the first 30 there may be 2. Out of the first
Mhm,
100 there may be 10. It's you
mhm.
got to find the right people for the right positions and keep moving with it. So we
Yeah.
put that open-ended thing out there to get everybody to come in to apply to do it. We all are capable of doing it. We just have to follow the rules from the companies and from the website we're doing. It's the same thing on every other website. Everybody's
Well,
got their
on
own.
some companies like TikTok, you can't be an influencer if you don't have like 5,000 people. There's just
Right.
no way.
Right.
You have to have a minimum amount of people, and we don't have that rule right now. We will probably put that rule in place, within 6 months to a year, but we don't have that rule. I mean, come on in, let's build together, let's be a community, let's work. I mean, we're getting signups, we're getting businesses signed up. I mean, if you don't believe people believe in us, I mean, and that doesn't include what's over there and what's everything else that's here. I mean, companies don't send stuff to people or anybody that they don't believe in. You know, we got a whole truckload of stuff coming this next week from, from cookies. You know, I mean, that's people, and that's what, that's what a lot of people don't understand right now is we are first. We have first mover advantage. And it's like on April 16th, I've got meetings with, magazines and there's that Eva Longoria is going to be there. And, there's a lot of things that are moving behind me, that are happening that I just don't have time to discuss because it's, it's becoming commonplace, for what we're doing.
Right. No, and that's going to be the craziest part is seeing where you're going and the things that you have coming up. And you're also burning the candle at both ends, trying to get this up and running. And you're still poking me with a stick every 25 minutes. I'm only fucking with you. I'm enjoying the ride. I like the way you're coming about with everything. You know what I mean? When you're as transparent as anybody I've ever met. You're here for us, but you've also got to be here with the ways to run these things, because once these products do start coming in, I mean, I've got a little bit of room, but I ain't even got enough room to try to store in what you want me to store in.
I'm supposed to make show times for these, for all the products in the back, and I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it by Monday. There'll be show times for all this stuff, but at the same time,
on my profile, not yours, mine.
Yeah,
mine. That's what I'm saying. No, I want to join you on yours.
Yeah,
I want to sit in there with you. I do.
And those are other features that we have to build in, right?
Diane, how are you?
It's just really, it's an interesting, it's a very interesting process. And it's if you ever, like I said, if you ever were interested in how a social media company was built, this is it. And then it's got the live stream factor to it that makes it even more interesting. I mean, there's over 20,000 people a day that come to the site.
Wow.
And we're not even having live shows yet. I mean, we've got demo live shows, and so, but that's actually good because I had a conversation with a couple individuals today that said, "Oh, I'm going to the site. Oh, the video doesn't play. Well, it does play. There's just no sound to it."
Yeah.
And they go,
it does say test right beside it, though. You know that, right? It says test in a little thinner letters than the big letters. I noticed that when I first went on there because I noticed that it changed from the original one you had on there to begin with.
And that is because we're adding the advertisement to it.
Gotcha.
Because let's just say if we make a lot of money in advertisements, influencers are going to be the first people that get stuff, money. You know what absolutely. I mean? Besides their 35%, that just makes everything even better. I mean, I don't know if you remember Mary Kay.
Yeah.
The really good salespeople who drive around.
Dude, I remember fucking Tupperware. Come on now.
The salespeople, the good ones, that drive around in pink Cadillac.
Oh, absolutely.
All
right. So, hear me out here. We ran for an hour now. If we're going to come back on at midnight, let's stop for a little while. Everyone watching right now, please remember that we're going to be back live again on all three channels. You remember Avon? You still got to go further back than Avon. Damn it. Go back to Tupperware. I know you ate out Tupperware. Everybody ate out Tupperware. Don't make me feel that old. Gosh. What we're going to do, though, he's going to be live on the strip in a little while. We're going to go with him, scout some spots to do some content videos at, do some more talking about the things he's discovered and the way we went about handling everything. We'll be sharing out some more things from Bud Vision and the YouTube channel in a little while. I'll make sure that I put out another little quick flyer before we do go live. Is there anything you want to share with anybody right now before we pop out?
Just let's have fun on the strip in about an hour sometime. What is it? I don't know. And text me the link because I'll be on my phone.
I'll send you the text on your cell phone. Yes. In 2 hours, we'll be live again. It's 10 o'clock now. It'll be midnight in Eastern Standard Time. Please come back and join us. We will see you guys soon. Hang on before you leave there, Troy. I'm going to end the stream, but we'll be right back. I'll see you guys in 2 hours.